Hello, everybody. Welcome to Horror Movie Yearbook. I'm Tim.
And I'm Willie.
Willie, we're going to get into it here.
All right. Let's do it, man.
We've got some feedback right off the top that we're going to talk about right now.
Oh, right.
We're just going to jump right into it. Check out the Game Nerds. They've got all sorts of cool stuff going on. I think Westworld FM is wrapped up for now.
Yeah, season's over.
Season's over.
I think no one's sure if there's going to be another season of Westworld. I think that's kind of, we're not sure yet.
I think most things, on HBO Max are kind of...
Who knows?
except for the Game of Thrones. It's going to end up being like 9 Game of Thrones spinoffs on HBO Max. That thing is like killing it, too.
And they'll all do crazy numbers. Yeah.
If there is one show that is like proof that Twitter is not real, it's like this new Game of Thrones, because all I heard on Twitter was how terrible Game of Thrones and how nobody wanted to see more of it. And then I look at like 10 million people are watching it every week. And it's
insane.
Anyway, Steve wrote in. We talked about the 3 great movies, which I thought was a very fun segment. 3 great movies from film directors.
Yeah.
And Steve wrote in with a couple of his. And he had a very good one here to start off with that I didn't even think of. But Rob Reiner.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men. I think those are all in a row, too.
Yeah.
So
that's killer.
That is a killer one.
But I don't think of Rob Reiner as a horror director. That's the only thing.
Right. And I think Steve was kind of building off where we left it.
But no, yeah, he's right. He's like 100% right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because then he also he backs us up on Tarantino. Jackie Brown is great period double space. That with Res Dogs and Pulp Fiction is one of the greatest 3 film runs of all time. Then he says David Fincher, and this is Fincher, borderline. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have him on horror directors, but he's got Alien 3 here. But 7, The Game, Fight Club 2. So
I like all 3 of those movies. 7,
The Game, and Fight Club.
Funny enough, I think Fight Club's my least favorite of the 3.
He says take off either bookend of that depending on taste, and it's still impressive. I'd say so. Fincher's pretty solid.
Alien 3 I can't say is a great movie, but I think you could argue for the other. Yeah, I would go with that.
And then he calls me out specifically.
Oh no.
He says also I know Tim. This is why we will not be asking for any more feedback from anybody if they're going to be calling me out. I do not like this.
Never again.
No. He says, also, I know Tim isn't the biggest Spielberg fan, which, correction here. So Steve is remembering something. I went on a rant, or I screamed one time that I hated Steven Spielberg, when actually I quite like Spielberg now. I think as I've gotten older, I've appreciated Spielberg much more than when I was younger. But
I like his stuff. Yeah.
He was surprised to hear me dismiss Hook in 1941. And to that I will say, I didn't dismiss Hook. I just think we had to draw a line there between like what's a great movie and what's a good. I think I said on the episode, like I don't think Hook is a great movie.
I think it's a great movie, but like I get it.
And I also said, 1941 is an acquired taste in my opinion, and I think most people point to that as one of his worst movies. So there you go. That's all I'll have to say on that to defend myself. Also, I had some feedback from my parents, who unfortunately started listening to the show and some of the things I say out here. But no, they want us to cover a Hallmark movie. They said you guys should do Hallmark movie.
Oh,
so I don't know. I wonder if there's like a Halloween.
There's got to be a Hallmark.
There's like a
horror
romantic ghost
something.
Yeah,
we'll make that happen. Tim's parents. And if you want to send us some suggestions for Hallmark horror movies that you might be aware of, you can do that. Or if you want to give Tim shit for his Spielberg,
what the hell?
Spielberg takes.
What is this?
Or anything else.
Don't
give me shit. Just give Tim shit. horrormovieyearbook@gmail.com.
I deserve it.
I probably do too. At HM Yearbook on Twitter. We're on Facebook and Instagram. You can find us through Horror Movie Yearbook. Yeah.
Just remember though, you give me shit, I will always have the last word because I have the podcast. I'm on a podcast.
That's
true.
And
like if you decide to come back at me with something, I can just go, guess what? I'm not going to read that.
That's true.
So
you'll automatically. I do want to mention we did get an email. Piece of feedback as well.
Okay.
From Alex. Founder. Who mentioned that he's a bit behind, so he apologizes. Yeah, you should be sorry. It's not like you got anything else going on in your life. Things that make you squirm. We talked about this a little while ago. And he had mentioned that his is kind of tangentially related to Nikki's toenail peeling off squirminess. Alex is a thing for the impaling limbs. fingers, etc. on metal nails.
Okay, so say that again. So impaling limbs. Oh, so like
on metal.
So like I'm thinking of is it Army of Darkness where he steps down on the nail.
Right.
Yeah.
So he specifically mentions there's a bit in The Ring where the Ring video shows like a finger being slowly pressed into a nail. And then he also mentions Marv in Home Alone stepping on the basement steps.
Oh, that is tough. Okay.
So it's nails going into flesh.
You ever stepped on a nail?
I have. Yes, I have.
So, yeah.
It wasn't bad enough. My situation wasn't bad enough for me to like have it be one of my like all-time holy shit I hurt myself moments. So it must not have been that bad. Like I think it got like part of the way in before I like you kind of realize pretty quick.
If you're lucky enough to like catch it,
yeah,
that's good.
That was my situation. I didn't get it all the way up there,
right?
So that's nice.
I have a scar, but it's not really. It was a nail. So I worked in a stockroom for a little bit, and I would have to sometimes bring down like we'd stack dryers too high, and on the bottom of dryers, it has that hole in the bottom. Of the box, and there was a nail sticking out and it dug right in. I still have the scar on my knee, like because I used to bring it down onto my legs and then put it down. Like
but this one had the nail,
and it had the nail, and it went right in there. Still got it down, didn't break it either. But
nice.
They had the customer probably had some blood out of it.
That's gnarly though. Yeah, that's gnarly. Oof, man. Yeah, that's no, thank you.
Good. So hopefully we've made Alex squirm a little bit more.
One can hope. I once pierced a friend's ear with a nail.
Well, excuse me.
Yeah. We were really drunk. And very young.
Is that okay?
And I had
That's not safe at all.
No. It was a drywall nail. And I think it was taken out of the wall.
How did you do this? Can you explain it?
We heated up the nail, which didn't really matter because it wasn't a needle, it was a nail. Like a thick nail.
Was this some sort of like sanitizing thing though? Or no? Like, isn't that?
We wiped it off with like an alcohol pad.
Good. At least you were safe. Yeah.
Yeah, we did that, and we wiped the ear off, and then we numbed the ear with ice.
Okay.
And then we took an apple, and stuck it on the back because you're supposed to like keep it in there for a minute. Yeah, like you keep something behind it.
Oh, and like an apple would.
Yeah, like a slice of apple, so you can it can stay in there for a hot second. I don't know why apple was the one we went with, but like it seemed like it would make sense. But when I tell you I pierced his ear, when you think of ear piercing, it's pretty in and out, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. This was like pushing and forcing the nail through the ear.
God.
It was horrific. I don't think he listens to this. I'm still pals with the guy. I don't know how he would. I mean, this was not.
This doesn't sound like something you would come up with. This was not my scheme on your own.
This was not my idea.
Do I know this person?
I think you might have met him. At some point.
Okay.
Yeah. My friend Benny.
Okay.
Briefly, maybe.
Yeah.
But it was. Yeah, it was rough. And then they wanted to pierce my ear, and I said, "Not with that.
Absolutely not.
Not with that." We did pierce my ear that night, but we found an actual like sewing needle.
Okay, yeah.
So
good
because I only had one ear pierced. I was like, I want to do the other one. I didn't want to go with the Harrison.
Do you have an
Ford.
ear?
Both my ears are pierced.
Are your ears pierced? I've never seen. Have you ever worn an earring?
No, not. Well, I have.
I mean, sure you have, but
I used to wear hoops and stuff, and or whatever. No, I mean it's probably closed up at this point.
Okay,
but yeah, they're both pierced.
I didn't know that.
One of them I got legitimately done, like the way you're supposed to. And the other one I did in like a kitchen.
The other one might still be open. Yeah, the one.
Actually, you know what's funny? That one healed better than the one I got professionally done. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, maybe you missed your calling.
Maybe. Anyway,
I'll back it. Black market ear piercings.
Alex is passed out at this point. He's fainted.
Hey, you know what? You know what else made somebody squirm?
Yeah,
this John Carpenter interview that we read. This was in the New Yorker. I was thinking about introducing a segment, and maybe you can help me name it right now. Because like this week in John Carpenter doesn't make any sense because we don't do things weekly. But every once in a while, John pops up with something like that garage sale he had the one time.
I think we should just once an episode just say Carpenter updates, and then just
Carpenter's Corner,
and then just like talk about his tweets.
Talk about what he's up to on social media.
What's he
doing? What's just, or if he's been in the news like he was this week for.
He's my favorite.
The only thing that like horror sites have picked up on that I've noticed in this is how he says like Halloween Ends might not be the last one, which duh, no shit. But there is a ton of gold in this New Yorker interview.
There's some good stuff. I will say this ahead of time.
Yes.
This guy, this interviewer,
Adam Naiman,
does a killer job. He goes into it knowing what he's dealing with.
A notoriously tough interview with John Carpenter, yes.
And I think he does an incredible job of keeping Carpenter as engaged as he does.
We talked about this offline, but he has he's a very obvious strategy here, which is warm him up with basketball and video game talk.
Yep. Which I told you has always been like in my fantasy scenario of like, okay, I get to interview Carpenter for something. I'm going to try and like ease into it with a little bit of basketball and video games. More video games because I don't know a lot about
If I was there with you, I think I could help you out with the basketball.
So we'd be able to...
I think we could... The two of us could...
Might be able to break
John Carpenter.
Break the shell. But then we'd bring up, like, we couldn't help but bring up, like, the thing, and he'd be like, oh. Are we done?
That's what happens multiple times. The only thing I told you at first was, like, I texted you, like, it's not a great interview, fair warning. And then I reread it, I'm like, it's a pretty good interview, honestly. On the Carpenter, you have to grade Carpenter interviews on a curve. Yes.
I've read / seen worse.
Yeah.
I will say this. What I think I figured out through this interview with Carpenter is that everybody holds on to Carpenter's movies and holds these movies like Halloween, The Thing, Big Trouble in Little China, The Fog, so on and so forth, in this high regard, and they're like incredibly important parts for many of us of our childhood or of our life as fans of film. But for Carpenter, he makes a movie and he moves on.
Yes.
He's not attached to that stuff.
It's a job
over.
to him.
He's
yeah.
done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's done. He might have some fond memories, but he doesn't really want to talk about it. He's over it.
And he is. I don't think he's a bitter old man or anything like this. So I don't want this to come across that way. But there is some bitterness to certain movies in his filmography. The Thing, especially, and it's because it was his big budget movie at the time, and it was supposed to be this big thing, and it bombed. And now he is a little bit cranky about people that go like, "This is one of the greatest movies ever made," and he's like, "Yeah, where were you then?" So
at least I could say Not Born.
Right. Yeah, he needs to be a little bit. At least
more. John, my dad went. So,
but you're right. It's a different mindset. I think a lot of than what we're maybe used to.
He's not
now.
an ego. He doesn't have a huge ego.
No, he doesn't. He's not pretentious at all.
He's like the antithesis of that.
Yeah.
To where it's almost like too much in the opposite direction, where it's almost like I really don't want to talk about this. Like, yeah. Whereas like you see a lot of directors being interviewed, and I'm not saying that they do have big egos. A lot of them do, but like where they like just gush over their own stuff.
Yes.
Whereas he's like, okay, like yeah, I made the movie. Kurt Russell's a nice guy. That's great.
I screenshotted a couple things here from the interview, so it'll be like interviewer. I'll go through a couple. Do you read a lot about the NBA or listen to basketball podcasts? The interview asks, and he goes, or do you just watch the game? And John just goes, I watch the games. Can you imagine John listened to any podcast, by the way? That was why I brought this up.
No. No.
So I know he's not listening to this.
I don't think John's done a podcast, which tells me he has zero interest in. But here's the thing, though. Okay, I'm going to be Mr. John Carpenter defender here.
Yeah, but no, for sure. Go for it.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
And I think you would agree with this. As I get older, I don't have time for shit I don't understand. I don't want to understand it.
I
accept that things exist. I'm happy about that. I think it's great. Like I podcasting, obviously I'm but like when like TikTok, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like videos, right? Like I don't
TikTok.
I don't want to.
There are
I don't want to download
the
app.
Yeah.
I don't want to become a TikToker.
There are certain things I'm okay with young people having.
Yeah, and I'm cool without it. I'm good. If somebody wants to send me a TikTok,
I'll
watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, I watch the TikToks,
and I might chuckle, but like I'm not gonna get.
But if I have to, like, I don't have the app, so if you send me a TikTok and I've got to do the thing where I got to slide the puzzle piece into the puzzle, I'm not doing it unless I look at that and I go, it's too much work.
So, like, John is quite a bit older than us. He's probably like, I don't want to do the podcast.
Yeah.
I don't have.
What am I going to do? Talk about my movies? Like, I don't want to talk about my movies.
Yeah, and I don't have time
you guys
for.
can talk about.
I don't have time for this. I already know. I already learned what radio is. I don't need to learn what a podcast is. Like, he's like over it. I get that. I feel more and more that way as the years roll on.
So the interview is. This is one of my favorite friends. So this comes right after he goes. You were a shooter or did you play inside? He's asking about John Carpenter playing basketball. And John goes, I was a forward. Now tell me about Toronto. What's happening there? Because the interview is from Toronto. He goes, the interviewer goes, you mean the basketball city or the team? John goes, the city. I made a movie in Toronto a few years ago. It's very funny to me that John is just like, hey, what's happening in old Toronto? What's going on over there?
I like, this is a kind of version where he's like, I really don't want to talk about playing basketball. You know?
Yeah,
I don't have anything to say about it. I played forward in high school.
High school, yeah.
What do you want me to tell you about that?
This is one of those things like an interviewer finds very interesting because it's an unknown thing about John Carpenter, and
he's hoping for John to open up.
Yes,
maybe tell us a story we've never heard before. I think it's great.
Yeah,
it's wonderful. But John doesn't give a shit. If he's over talking about the movies he made in his adult career, he certainly is over talking about he has no interest in talking about further back than, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's very sweet of John, I think, to be like, so let's talk Toronto. He's giving it.
What's going on over there?
What's up?
I learned that he has a helicopter's license. I did not know that.
Okay, that was a new one.
That was interesting. Yeah,
yes.
He talks about he got his pilot's license in 82 or 83, and he was off and running. He talks a lot about he's this is something the interviewer should have chased, and this is where he goes into The Thing, and he goes, "You didn't fly any of the helicopters in The Thing, did you?" And John just goes, "No." But yeah, John is a helicopter pilot. That was cool to know.
I would have thrown in there though. I would have asked him about talk about some helicopter safety in film. How do you prep it? How do you
right?
In situations where you've had to use a helicopter in a film, I think he certainly had to use them in The Thing. He had to use them in Memoirs of an Invisible Man. There's a big helicopter stunt, I believe, in that film. Because there was obviously the Twilight Zone accent. I might bring that up. This is something that we've had to change. Do you, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. There's an avenue to go there. I feel where you could keep it in the film realm, but not I don't know.
This right here is one of I like this, and I think John. We're speaking for John a little bit here, but I don't care. I think he's playing a little bit of Columbo, kind of playing dumb, because he goes, Halloween definitely has that with Jamie Lee Curtis, and that character became the archetype for the idea of the final girl. And he goes, where does that come from? The final girl. John says, I think he knows this to me, but then the interviewer goes on to tell him that it was Carol J. Clover called Men, Women, and Chainsaws.
Yeah.
She writes about how this character, and a lot of people forget that. A lot of people
coined in that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was coined in that book, and that wasn't really an archetype before Halloween. Carpenter wasn't using that. I think sometimes it gets kind of lumped in as the final girl, but really that's kind of the prototype, the archetype. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course, Laurie Strode has become a final girl since then. In subsequent sequels and stuff like that.
Yes. He's used this because he talks a little bit about being there. He mentions Orson Welles coming to his film school, and he talks about, and this kind of what we were talking about earlier with him not being pretentious at all. He goes, film school was a pretentious time. One thing Orson Welles did was downplay the pretension of making movies. He talks, I can't remember he talks about the plumbing of filmmaking. Yeah. That's what he focuses on.
They can teach you the plumbing, but they can't teach you talent. Yeah.
Yep. So, he talks a little bit about that and how kind of amazing that was. But I thought that was really interesting, too, because that, like I said, kind of sums up his mindset towards filmmaking. It is kind of a job for him. And I do think that, obviously there's some artistry in his movies, but he treats it like work. And that's why he's so mad about money sometimes. Another great moment was the directors. They're talking about these directors wondering if he had how much interaction he had with people like Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, and Francis Ford Coppola. And John says, "No, I don't know those bums or guys." And he goes, "I know the horror directors."
Oh, he loved that.
Yes,
that was a shot.
Yes, I was friends with all of them: Tobe Hooper and George Romero. Those guys. And the guy goes, "You're a big fan of Romero?" And he goes, "Oh yeah." And I liked that part. I thought that was heartwarming.
I love. That's something I would have pushed on too. I would love to know the extent of their relationship or friendship. Because those are my guys. Those two guys. and they're so different.
Yeah.
In terms of like personality, like George was like Grandpa George, like or like Uncle George, like he was like this like a big sweet teddy bear of a man.
Yes.
And then like John's like the grouchy uncle. Like so like I don't know. I'd just be curious to hear about like I'd want to know more about their like interactions and stuff like that. I wonder if he would open up to something like that. Or if he would close off like I don't want to talk about George. You know, I don't know.
Right.
I'm curious.
Me too. This was, I don't think I've heard him talk in this way before. This is when the interviewer asks him if there was a last straw in his career. And he says it was just a culmination, but he says on Ghosts of Mars, I was exhausted. That was the big thing. I remember seeing a behind-the-scenes featurette, and it showed me on set working, sitting in the scoring session, and he said, God, I aged, tired and ancient, and I thought, I can't do this anymore. It was too rough. For me, it became not worth it. And I didn't know what I wanted to say about movies. Movies are my first love, my life. Then he goes, but anyway, why am I telling you this? This is not something I want to talk about. Yeah. I thought that was a great moment in this interview because it does kind of give a peek to why he hasn't made... I know he made, what's the movie with Amber Heard?
Oh, yeah.
He's made that since Ghost of Mars. I can't even remember the name of it.
No,
right
I don't either. The Ward.
The Ward, which I am convinced...
He did not direct.
I'm convinced he had his name on that.
And
he did do.
Still haven't seen it.
He directed Cigarette Burns and Pro-Life for Massive Horrors, but
yeah,
and those, for better and for worse, feel like him.
They do.
The Ward doesn't. So yeah, but I thought that was an interesting because I don't think I've ever heard him say that like candidly.
The breaking point. No, it was interesting, and I will say this. This to me, this is this quote is the closest window you might get into. And maybe I'm totally wrong. He might laugh at me for saying this. Who knows? But this is the closest I get into why John can come off as grouchy and stuff sometimes is beyond the fact that maybe he's a little bit grouchy is that he probably is one of those people who is internally a very emotional person and has a lot of sentimental things about it. He just doesn't want to talk about them because he internalizes that stuff. He doesn't want to
yeah.
The last thing he wants to do is relive all that shit. It's always there under the surface. But why would he open up that shit?
And put yourself in his shoes, a bad experience that you've had in your life.
Do you want to talk about it?
It could be a work experience. Yeah, I've had work experiences where I've worked somewhere for 6 months and I'm I hate this. I can't do this anymore. I'm at the end of my rope. And if it's similar, no, I do not want to talk about that.
No, you don't want to let's reopen those wounds. Yeah. So I get that. I mean, yeah.
He goes on the video game stuff. He talks about he loves Fallout 76.
Which no one loves, which is so funny.
He says its game had a rough launch with problems and bugs, but I really like it. Then he says an incredible game called Horizon Forbidden West, astonishing game. And then he says he couldn't play Red Dead Redemption because he couldn't figure out how to get on the horse.
Sweet.
John goes pretty. So this interview was sold as him talking about pro wrestling, but it's really just him talking about Roddy Piper. But he does. John knows the words kayfabe. John knows kayfabe.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you John knows 80s wrestling. I bet you he knows that era of wrestling pretty well.
Yes. So here are my new in my fantasy scenarios, right? Talk wrestling with Carpenter, right? That's a window to open up,
yes.
Right? So, because I feel that's untapped a little bit. When he said kayfabe, I went, oh.
So he knows what he's talking about. I bet
John.
a lot of that is probably soaking that in from just being around Piper all the time.
Sure.
But
that's a window. And then also, I think if you talked about other people's movies, you might get more from him. I noticed that. He likes to talk about movies, just not necessarily his movies.
Yes.
So
yeah, he talked a little bit about that. This is when, when he comes back at him, he goes, "Are you accusing me of being a sadist?" Because he says, "Is there a sadistic impulse in playing with the viewer that way?" I don't know if he's joking. I don't know how that comes.
I think he's joking.
Yeah. But this is along with his philosophy. I think this is kind of a deep window. You do have to kind of read into it, though. But he says when people enjoy a movie and they're into it and they react to it, I love that. That's what I love. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I think that might be why he loves playing music. Why he loves going and playing his scores in front of crowds and stuff, because he gets that instant feedback from an audience without having to deal with the bullshit of making a Hollywood picture.
Yeah.
or just dealing with people.
Yep.
He talks a little bit about Kurt Russell. I know they were friends. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how close they are still. He talks a little bit about that. They talk a little bit about, yeah, this was the part. He goes, are we okay? Vampires is a Western. And he goes, sort of. How much more time do you need? He asks the interviewer. And the interviewer goes, are we okay to do another 10 minutes? And John goes, sure. And the interviewer asked him, I hope you're not having a bad time. And John goes, I'm having a great time. So that's kind of the breaking point where his answers get a little bit shorter.
Yeah. You can tell he's over it at that point.
Now, let me ask you, do you think he's playing into the grumpiness a little bit like Harrison Ford does? Because Harrison Ford is doing a bit most of the time now. Like,
maybe.
He's actually cranky, but he's also playing it up.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure John's aware of the reputation he has as far as being a little bit curmudgeon-y on occasion. I mean, he could be. He could be. I think he probably just... It comes off as rude in the interview, like kind of dickish in the interview. I almost wonder why that was printed. Like, I don't necessarily know that needed to be
right
in there. But, I mean, I guess, journalistic integrity says you throw it in there. But...
and he did keep in the part where he says, I'm having a great time. Yeah.
I think he probably just legitimately, wanted to know, hey, how much longer do we... where are we at? He's probably got things to do. He's got Fallout 76 to play.
This is another thing. He asks if he keep up with new horror movies, and John answers, yeah, I loved Let the Right One In, which was 15 or 16 years ago, John? So yeah, that's really...
That's a good movie.
Yeah, that is. I mean, he's right, but I think that is. I mean, he ends up talking a little bit more about the Warriors. One thing I have to call John out on it. He's a bandwagon fan. He talks about how he's a Lakers fan. Then he jumped over to the Warriors, and then last year I remember him tweeting about how great it was the Milwaukee Bucks one. So, John, who you got? I will forgive someone who lives in California for being a fan of multiple California teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I'll forgive that.
But he jumped off the Lakers. He even mentions he jumps off as soon as LeBron becomes.
LeBron comes. But then he also jumped on the Milwaukee Bucks bandwagon. Where's John from originally? I can't remember.
He's from
Indiana, right?
Yeah, I think so. Indiana.
Shouldn't he be a Pacer? Yeah. Anyway.
I love John. I really do.
Yeah, final thoughts on this interview.
No, it's look, I'll read any John Carpenter interview because they are at the very least entertaining. No, I mean, John's an interesting cat. I don't know what else to say about it. He was born in New York. But he was raised, I believe, in Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky, that's right, because he went to Bowling Green.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And I think that's close-ish to the border. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused with Indiana. Yeah. So anybody can check that out. You can read the whole interview. It's
worth a read.
Yeah, the New Yorker. John Carpenter is still scary. The director on Conquering Fear, Ignoring His Critics, and The Pleasures of Rebooting Halloween by Adam Naiman. So check it out. Good read. Very cool. All right. So
would you? Yeah. Somebody if somebody emailed you tomorrow and was like, "Hey, you get to John Carpenter wants an interview with," which is hilarious because it would never happen. But let's say would you be nervous about it?
Absolutely. Yeah. And there was a part of me that goes would I turn this down? Or I would, you know what, I would not turn that down. Because
I wouldn't either.
I would do is I would be so I would...
What does he want to talk about?
What does he want to talk about? And then I would come to you because you would come up with much better questions than I would. I am admittedly not, I would not be a good interviewer.
My only thing with John at this point, just knowing, because I would love to talk to the guy at some point, but my only thing with him would have to be you'd have to, if you wanted to get information about his experiences making his movies, you couldn't outright ask him, "Hey, what was it like when you made the thing?" He doesn't want to talk about that. I feel like you could do something cool, a more of a unique interview with him if you brought up the people he's worked with.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, I just want to talk to you about some of the people that you've collaborated with multiple times in the past. I just want to know
maybe his influences.
Yeah, some of hey, Kurt Russell. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of Kurt? What's a memory you have of Kurt that where they don't see what he's maybe he would open up more about that, and then you would get some insight into the movies he's worked on with Kurt through his experience of being a friend, that friendship or that partnership. Dennis Dunn. Like you use Dennis Dunn in a couple of your movies. Like, do you still keep in touch with Dennis? Like, he seems like such a yeah. Like I think you could do maybe. I'm saying all this now, but you'd get there and he'd stonewall you and he'd be like, "Fuck."
Maybe music. Maybe you go in through his score. So yeah,
that would be another one that I've thought of. Is like could you talk music? Could you talk Coupe de Villes with John? Because I talked Coupe de Villes with Nick Castle, and I have one regret about that.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Is like that would be the first question I was asked. Is, hey, are the Coupe de Villes gonna get back together? Or what was your question?
I asked him if they'd ever release the album.
The album, yep.
Because I said, yeah, you can listen to the full album. It's a lot of fun. It's on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah.
And I asked him, and he said, "Yeah, I doubt that. I doubt that would ever happen." And I said, he goes, I got like boxes full of vinyls, and my one regret is not saying, could I buy one? Like,
yeah,
what's the worst he can say? No, I'm keeping them. Like, how many people have a Coupe de Villes vinyl? I can tell you right now, there's none for sale anywhere on the internet.
Yeah,
I should have asked Nick Castle.
The whole album's up on YouTube.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's fun.
Let's look at my free trial of YouTube Music. Maybe when I go on a run tomorrow.
I believe it's called Waiting Out the 80s.
That's yes, that sounds correct. Yes.
Yes, good stuff. God, Nick Castle, John Carpenter, and Wallace, Tommy Lee Wallace.
Yes.
Fuck.
The boys.
So sweet. Anyway, I'm sorry. Okay. Moving on.
We got to talk about these fall movies.
Fall movies.
We're going to preview the fall today. The legends.
Fall is a time for horror.
Of the fall. Really just September, October. Nobody really bothers in November anymore, especially on the TV side of things. Although TV, they just announced like a month before these shows come out now.
I know.
Like it'll be out there.
I don't understand how television works anymore.
I don't either.
No, I don't think anybody does.
That's all right. I got some good shows here. What do you want to start with? Well, let's start with movies.
Sure.
And I would like to shout out Megan Navarro at Bloody Disgusting for putting this
thank you.
fall preview together for everybody. Go give them
Scope it out.
Yeah, go give Bloody Disgusting some hits because I just copied and pasted. Stuff that I think that you and I have an interest in or no. Because there was some stuff out there
basically
that I might watch at some point, but I'm like, I don't know. But I'm just going to run through September first on the movie side of things. And then what do you want to do? Do you want to go like see it or skip it?
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. I'm cool with that.
First up in September, Barbarian. This is it's written and directed by Zach Kreger. Barbarian sees a woman's rental nightmare come true when she finds out it's been double booked. This has my man Bill Skarsgård in it and Justin Long is in it. Have you seen the previews for this?
I have not. Just going by the synopsis and the cast, I'm down.
So this is also, I think it was Edgar Wright tweeted about this recently, maybe even today before I came over here, basically telling you, and this is my type of movie, because he goes, do not know anything more than you know now about this movie.
Yeah.
Like he says, don't even watch the trailer, which I have, but he's like, do not pay any attention to the reviews. Go in as cold as possible. So whenever somebody says that about a movie, I am sold.
That's way more exciting than like the greatest horror film since blah, like
this is what people said about the Orphan First Kill movie, and they are completely right.
Go in
blind, and give it some time. Give it about 30 minutes to like settle in, and then look out.
Yeah,
I'm a see it on Barbarian.
Excellent. Me too.
Goodnight Mommy. This is going to be on Prime Video in September. So this is a remake of, I believe it's a Swedish film, right? From 2014.
It is, which I've seen.
We reviewed that on the old Midwest Film Nerds.
We did
with Alex.
Yeah, I
don't
need to see a remake of Goodnight Mommy. I've seen Goodnight Mommy. I understand the reason why it received kind of the buzz and stuff it did at the time. I didn't love it, ultimately. I thought it had some interesting stuff going on, but I kind of just walked away going, all right. I kind of felt like I knew exactly where we were headed and what was going on the whole time, if I'm being completely honest.
Can I say something that may be a bit harsh? Yeah. But that's okay because they're Swedish and they don't listen. I don't want to offend anybody. It feels like one of those horror movies that catches on with a crowd that doesn't necessarily love horror movies.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No one's. I'm not crapping on that at all.
But I'm with you. I don't think I was a huge fan of it. And in my mind, I am less of a fan of it. So I'm sure someone will go back and listen and be like, hey, Tim, you raved about this movie back in 2014.
I didn't hate it, but
no, me neither. I'm going to skip it on this one.
Yeah, me too.
Pearl. So this is a prequel to X, Ty West's latest movie.
Yeah, he shot this
in secret
at the same time.
Yeah, Oh, I don't know if it was in secret, but at the same time. But Pearl is so I don't want to give too much away about the plot here. Actually, have you seen X yet?
No.
Okay.
You have, yes.
I have, and I really, really liked it. It's my favorite Ty West movie. I'm a see it on this.
Really good things about it.
Yeah, I'm a see it because I used to really dislike Ty West movies, but I'm all in now. I'm a huge Ty West fan.
Oh my God, I never thought.
I liked the one movie he did too quite a bit, the cult movie that I'm blanking on.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty good too. Yep. So he has grown on me.
There you go. I should probably see X first.
Yeah, I think you could. I mean, technically, there's a prequel, so you could watch them in order. But I think you should check out X anyway.
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
I don't know. Yeah, that's got to be streaming somewhere soon.
Somewhere. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh baby. All right. So this next one. I know you care about the movie. I'm all about the press tour.
Oh God!
Don't worry, darling.
Jeez.
This might be a little bit horror adjacent, but we are cooking with gas on this thing. Hot goss, as they say. A lot of hot goss going on. Okay, so to be fair, some of this is not funny because some of it involves divorce and children on the Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis side. Have you kept up with this at all?
Yeah, I have. It's weird.
You seem less enthused by the hot goss.
No, the thing that I find funny is the press, the Olivia Wilde is just look, Harry Styles is gonna go down on her.
Yes,
isn't that why you should go see it, because he's gonna go down on her?
So this is the Florence Pugh.
Yeah,
the Florence Pugh Olivia Wilde stuff is
that's the funny stuff. Yes. The rest of it I kind of go.
The rest of it, it's none of my business. I don't know.
It's icky.
Yes,
but the Florence Pugh Olivia Wilde stuff is very funny.
Just so you know, Cosmopolitan has a great breakdown of the drama behind this.
It's so funny.
There's a Instagram post apparently Florence Pugh was promoting one of the other movies she's in right now.
One of the 40 other movies.
I think I've only seen one movie she's ever been in.
Black Widow?
Oh, she's quite good in that. No, I was thinking of the Midsommar movie. She's in that too.
I did not like that movie.
Me neither, but I recognize she's a very tathirsted actress.
She is, absolutely.
Yes. Yep. But Olivia Wilde was basically what's the word I would kind of thirsty. She kept tagging her, and she was Florence Pugh was online tweeting about or Instagramming about her other movies, and then Olivia Wilde jumped on and started tagging her in posts trying to promote this one because the trailer had just caught, and Florence Pugh completely no-sold her.
I know. And then in interviews has been I wish we wouldn't just promote the movie based on
sex scene?
Harry Styles going down on me in the trailer. Yeah. And then Olivia Wilde's free the vagina.
And then
it's the best.
Then the LaBeouf, the Shia stuff came out on top of it. Have you seen that? Yeah. So
it's weird. I almost wonder if half this shit is just drummed up by press agents and stuff to try and get people interested in a movie that they otherwise probably wouldn't be all that interested in. Although I bet a lot of people are going to go see Harry Styles in sex scenes. Right?
Okay, so
that's what people are going to go see.
This feels like the Halle Berry swordfish strategy in some ways. Yeah.
Yes.
And and I think some Sharon Stone movies are like this as well. Yeah. The trailer's pretty steamy though.
Sex sells.
I'm not going to lie. The trailer is pretty steamy, but
people want to see attractive people
do things
to each other.
There's no shame in it either.
I mean,
so
that's why I would watch this at this exact moment in time.
Apparently Chris Pine is in this as well. But.
Oh, that's funny. That's the reason why I would tune in at this point.
I was
but I get why Florence Pugh's the movie's pretty good though, guys.
She probably worked very hard on this. I'm sure Harry Styles probably worked very hard on this, but he's very busy making millions of dollars, touring and stuff, and
dating Olivia Wilde. Unreal.
So, anyway, I'd probably skip it on this. I honestly didn't think the trailer looked very good. Olivia Wilde kind of annoys me sometimes. I didn't see Booksmart. Do you see Booksmart?
No.
Okay, I'm sure it's great.
No, I'm good. I don't really need to.
Something though.
Oh boy.
Pure artistry. The Munsters. Gonna be hit Netflix in September. This is the Rob Zombie reimagining of The Munsters.
I'm not watching this.
I'm going to watch this.
I know you are. And you're going to text me about it, and that's great. And that's why that's the experience I want. I do not want to watch it. I just look. I have no connection or affinity for the Munsters. I recognize that people like it, and it was a show that people enjoyed.
I was a big Munsters fan.
Sure, yeah, it's great. That's great. I was more of an Addams Family guy myself, if I had to pick one.
So we're different, yeah. I was more of a but I like the Addams Family too. Let's not.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't.
You can like two things. You can like Coke and Pepsi
for sure. I don't dislike the Munsters. I just never watched it. Like I didn't, I'm not going to now.
Well, the Addams Family had the movies too,
right? That helped. So, well, now the Munsters will. The trailer's really not good though. Like it is, and I guess we could be claiming that that's intentional, that schlocky vibe, and that's fine. But it still doesn't look good.
The vibe is not the issue I have with the movie. I am all for a schlocky vibe. It looks like absolute dog shit. Like it looks like it was made for $15. You nailed it when you said it.
It looks like it was shot at a convention.
On break, like they took a break from Comic-Con or after, like when the night was over and filmed overnight on break at a Comic-Con. It looks like it was made for $30.
So bad.
So, because I'm with you. I saw a lot of people defending that trailer after the immediate there was the immediate backlash, and then of course there are people going like, let Rob Zombie do his thing. And I'm like, listen, I like Rob Zombie movies. I'm the guy on this podcast who watches every one and enjoys quite a few of them. And even I'm sitting here going like, no, this looks like
good
crap.
Yeah. I don't hate Rob Zombie by any means. But like, I don't think he makes good movies.
Right.
I just don't.
So you're skip it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. It is what it is. I hope people like it.
I'm going to see it because I'm obligated. Rob Zombie and Kevin Smith right now are two people who have been on a very hit or miss with me. And Kevin Smith has kind of been on a losing streak with me since probably Red State now.
Right.
But I'm going to watch Clerks 3. I have to.
Hey, man.
It is what it is.
I will watch that.
Let's close out September with a couple more here. My Best Friend's Exorcism. This was based on a Grady Hendrix novel that I read or started. I wasn't crazy about it. He's had quite a few books. I haven't read anything else. I'm gonna skip it on this. It's kind of like an 80s set adaptation. It looks like kind of a fun, like 80s style horror comedy.
I might watch this. I guess.
The book's not bad. It's just sometimes I do get kind of worn out with like the kind of jokey like, hey, isn't it cool? This is in the 80s thing.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hocus Pocus 2 on Disney Plus. You a Hocus Pocus guy? Hocus Pocus
No, I'm
2.
not. Nope.
The Sanderson sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this isn't made for me.
No, but I'm excited for the people that love Hocus Pocus.
Me too.
I hope it's good.
Me too.
Like, I legitimately hope, because I know that's a very special movie to a lot of people, and like, I really hope that it delivers.
It doesn't suck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only hope. Am I going to watch it? I will not watch it because I just don't have any sort of affinity for Hocus Pocus. But I really, really hope that it's good. I do.
Closing out September, I've seen this trailer a couple times, and it looks so stupid that I might be in at some point when it comes out of video. But it's called Smile, and like a person is the reverse, and then there's all these people like walking around with like a creepy smile on their face.
No, I'm not gonna watch this.
This looks like this looks like it's gonna end up in like the 10 to 20 range on Rotten Tomatoes, judging by the trailer. All right, we're gonna run through some TV here real quick. 101 scariest movie moments of all time. This is going to be on Shudder, weekly releases. I am super excited for this.
Me too. Okay, so they used to do these on AMC?
Yeah, the AMC was like the 100 scariest movie moments or whatever.
During Fear Fest, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I used to watch these all the time, and then I think they're still on YouTube, and I'd watch them here and there. This used to get me jacked for the Halloween season. Dude, I'm ready. Let's go.
Every generation should have one of these shows.
Hell yeah.
That, will count down. You need to refresh these every few years.
I need to re-up my Shudder subscription.
Yeah, I think September and October is a good time because they've also got Queer for Fear, The History of Queer Horror. That's by the same people who did the Horror Noir.
Yes.
Documentary. It was quite good.
Which I liked. Yeah.
Couple of I only have this one out here because I love the War of the Worlds. I love the story. I love the Orson Welles radio play. There's War of the Worlds season 3 on Epix. This is just amazing me because I love the War of the Worlds. There's been 3 seasons of a TV show floating out there. You think it's like a BBC show?
I had no idea.
Los Spookies on HBO, season 2. I love Los Spookies. It's kind of a half Spanish language, half English show. It's produced by Fred Armisen. It's kind of got that weird, like wacky, off kilter humor that he's known for.
Yeah.
It's very silly. It's very ridiculous. I really love Los Spookies. I'm excited for it. A couple more TV shows. Halloween Wars will be back on the Food Network.
Oh, sweet.
Zach Baggins was on last year.
Hell yeah.
Outrageous Pumpkins. I don't know what that is. That's also on the Food Network.
Some sort of pumpkin carving thing.
Do you remember the one show where they used to launch the pumpkins?
Yeah, I think I do, actually. I think I do.
Ghosts season 2 is a show that I really like. It's kind of a comedy with Rose McIver and I forget the dude's name. He's also on Never Have I Ever. And then there's something on the Travel Channel, and that I assume will be also on Discovery Plus, called The Curse of Robert the Doll.
Ooh.
Which I believe is a Baggins joint.
Robert is a thing. Yeah, like it's a real...
I think it's in his haunted museum.
Yeah.
Robert the Doll.
Yeah.
I don't remember the backstory behind Robert.
He's just spooky, man. He's lots of spookies.
Who's your spookiest doll?
Spookiest doll? Man.
Chucky's not really spooky. He's just kind of wild.
Yeah, as a kid, it would have been Chucky. It freaked me out. Man, I don't know. I just don't like dolls. I don't like dolls that look like realistic, like in terms of like proportion and stuff. Like where like they look like they're not like they look like maybe babies, but like they have that weird like porcelainy sheen about them. Like they look like they could move at any time.
Oh, kind of, yeah.
There's kind of a vibe about those ones.
Yeah.
Where like they look real enough to where you're like, okay. Yeah, I don't like dolls. Not a fan.
Any TV shows that are sticking out for you?
No. I'm watching more TV. I will say so. I've been watching more in general, and I'm very proud of myself for that because I'm not good at watching things anymore. I'm currently watching All of Us Are Dead.
Oh, are you watching
which
that?
is not great. But
yeah, I jumped out a little early on that one.
It's not great. Some of the sequences are really, really good stuff. Like really top-notch like action sequences and stuff. Like I love the Korean zombie vibe. It's a totally different type of zombie. But man, like this should not be 12 episodes, first of all. It's insane. And also, these might be the dumbest characters in the history of... like, they're not written well. Like, they're not... Like, I'm like a third, maybe over a third of the way through the show, and I don't think anybody's successfully, like, killed a zombie. They're like... And they just keep, like... Anytime somebody gets bit, they spend 10 minutes standing there going, like staring in awe as they turn into a zombie, and then get shocked when they're like, what should we do now? That there's a zombie in the room. It's like, God.
Did you watch Black Summer season 2?
No.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't like it as much as the first season, but
I didn't. I liked the first season a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not watch season 2. Yeah. There's a lot I don't watch. There's more I don't watch than I do watch, I guess. It's sad. Maybe if I get Shudder, I'll get better about this. There's a Shudder app, right?
There is a Shudder app, and I think it's obviously there's if you got a Roku, and there's also like I think it has everything except for like PS5, because PS5 has.
Oh, that's fine. I can't afford one of those anyway.
4 apps, or PS4, PlayStation, I should say, in general.
I do not. Yeah, that's fine. As long as I can do Roku and on my phone, if I'm watching something that I've seen before, then
yes.
Yep, good.
All right, so let's jump to October now.
Ah, yes, October.
We kick things off with Terrifier 2. Art the Clown is back. So you are not this is not rated by the MPAA. Okay.
Terrifier sucks, dude. It's not a good movie. It's not good.
So I am the Terrifier fan of the podcast.
I know.
I think Terrifier is a great 1:30 in the morning. I've had a few beers. Rowdy slasher flick.
Fair enough.
It's
just so fucking mean-spirited. Like, it's just so mean.
So, okay.
Like, there's no, like, I don't have fun with it. I don't know.
This thing is going to be 2.5 hours long.
That's insane. It's insane.
So my gut reaction to hearing a 2.5 hour slasher movie is absolutely not. No way. Because the perfect length of a slasher is honestly probably like 50 minutes, but
like 80.
But like I'll grant you 80 to 90.
I can handle that.
2.5 hours
is nuts.
Insanity.
Yeah.
So like I of course will be like no, but then I'm gonna sit there and go, I have to see a 2.5 hour slasher movie. What is this?
I know.
So you're skip it. I'm see it.
I would go with you. If you went to the theater to see this, I would go with you.
Okay.
But I need to drink before.
You want to do it? We'll do it at the house. We'll do it on your. You still got the projector?
No.
Shoot.
I can get it back.
Who's got it?
I can get it back.
Okay, we'll show up at whoever's got
Founders
it.
got it.
We'll say, hey, we're going to be here for 2.5 hours.
Hey, yo.
Put the baby to bed.
Yeah. I got to watch Terrifier 2. Let's go. Yeah. I will watch Terrifier 2 with you if we're drinking. There's my commitment, level of commitment I have here to Terrifier. People love Art the Clown.
He's a pretty sweet design. Let's at least
he's cool. He's cool. Yeah,
grant that.
The guy's killing it at the conventions.
Exactly.
He must be. He's at all of them.
Terrifier has a dedicated fan base.
Yeah, it does.
I can't say I'm a part. Like I enjoyed the first Terrifier movie, but I can't say I'm like.
It's not good.
Here's one I think we're both.
Somebody
excited.
convince me.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Please. No.
Oh okay.
No, go ahead.
So here's one I think we're both excited for though.
Yeah.
Hulu Hellraiser.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
This is David Bruckner, who did The Signal. He did the Night House, which is the Rebecca Hall, not Ferguson, who I was about to say. Rebecca Hall movie, and I love Rebecca Hall. She's great.
Yeah.
This is a new spin on the Clive Barker classic. A young woman must confront the sadistic, supernatural forces behind an enigmatic puzzle box responsible for her brother's disappearance. Jamie Clayton is the new Hell Priest.
Oh, this is so sweet. Dude, a female Pinhead rules.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yes.
There's something so much, like, I don't know. It just fits better, right?
I think you need to come up with a fresh spin. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I think you need to come up with a fresh spin on stuff like this, especially, and I think this is a great way to do it. I also love David Bruckner. Like, I think
I think Bruckner's sweet.
Especially as a choice for this, I think he's awesome.
This is either going to be very cool or very disappointing. There's going to be no in between.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
I am excited, and it's on Hulu. Where
hey,
I do think they have released the one well received straight to streaming genre movie.
Prey?
Lately. It seems like but I think you can also get away with a little bit. It's weird. You can get away with a little bit more on these streaming services than in theater.
Think that Hellraiser is the perfect thing to release on a streaming service right now.
Because I have no expectations for a new Hellraiser movie.
We got to re-earn that trust, I think.
Yeah. I think we talked a little bit on Prey. Like, you re-earn the trust, and then maybe you could. I don't think Hellraiser's ever going back to theatrical
that's fine.
release.
It doesn't need to.
I see that Evil Dead movie got bumped to theatrical.
Oh.
Yes, Evil Dead Rise.
Was it on Max at first?
It was Max. But remember, Bruce may have been tipped off to a lot of this HBO Max stuff because he was at Comic-Con saying, we think we might get a theatrical release for this. He goes, it's so good, which tells you what people think about straight to streaming movies.
Right. I love so much the HBO Max thing. It's so funny to me. I don't love it for people involved. It's very funny to me.
There's a lot of so what's funny to you about it?
Because it was this big when did HBO Max come out?
Debacle
2 years ago.
With. Yeah, 2 years.
It was
ago.
HBO Max. Whoa, it's the greatest.
It's a stupid name.
It's dumb. It's the greatest streaming service ever in the history of look at all the cool shit we've got. We got all this DC content. And we're gonna have all these movies. Oh, hey, we're gonna have a year's worth of fucking summer movies that we're going to put on streaming because
they had no
pandemic.
strategy.
No, it was just insanity. And now there's the merger, and they're and basically the new guy's fuck HBO Max.
I cannot believe I'm going to sound like I'm sticking up for old Zaz. You're right. It sucks for the creatives
it does.
behind a lot of these shows. So I don't want to be too harsh because the guy's an asshole. He's just a penny pit. He's a money guy. He's just cutting stuff. But I look at if I go on HBO Max right now and I look at these Max originals, it is 90% shit that nobody watches.
Yes.
And the other thing too is, the other thing too is, I hear a lot of, I can't believe they're gonna merge like these Discovery Plus shows, this trash like Dr. Pimple Popper and the Ghost Hunters and all this stuff.
People watch that shit.
People watch it, and also, if I look on HBO Max right now, I'm gonna look at this cooking show with Selena Gomez, The Great Pottery Throw. I was looking at it earlier today because I wanted to rant about this because you brought it up.
Yeah.
F-Boy Island, like the prestigious Max originals are gonna get mixed in with all this.
How dare they?
And the other thing too is, from what I gather, they're just, I say he, because my boy Zaslav or whatever his name is. They're cutting the shit people like, and the only stuff that people talk about is the HBO brand, like stuff that's on HBO, yes. Game of Thrones, Succession, Westworld.
Yes,
like these are shows that are on HBO that people talk about. Most of that stuff on Max, nobody watches. Like that, and it's also confusing because it's like Why are you calling this HBO Max? It's so dumb.
And he also
it was confusing from the start.
He's also smart in the sense that like a lot of these movies and projects that are being canceled, like people weren't going to go see this shit or weren't going to watch this shit, and he can get that money back in the production. It sucks. I'm sorry for those that
I want to see the Batgirl movie too.
Batgirl, that's a bummer. Honestly, it is.
Like, people put a lot of hard work into that.
But I also understand why they're doing what they're doing, because they're recouping losses immediately. Like there's no. He's trying to
that DCEU or whatever you want to call it has been a debacle from. That's why you don't give your stuff to Zack Snyder and have him go to.
We just lost a few people, but that's fine.
We'll get angry Snyder cut. I don't care anymore. It's 2 years.
They're robots anyway.
The other thing, I saw a story of Variety today about how someone's like, we should have never given in to these people. Like now they just like they come at us. They're mad at the studio Warner Brothers for what they did to the Snyder cut. We should never give in. And it's one of those things where like nobody cares that like this is like 50 people and a bunch of bots that have been tweeting at you. This has been your problem from the beginning. No real person gives a shit which studio makes Batman. They're not like, oh, another war. Like it's just people that like read too much of this.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
This is what's great.
I had a feeling that Snyder shit was weird to begin with. I'm like, this many people are obsessive over the fucking Zack Snyder DC stuff, and it turns out that most of them are fake. It's so funny.
How did we get on that? Oh, that's right.
Anyway.
Hulu Hellraiser, which I think we're both seeing.
Hell yeah, let's see it.
Spirit Halloween, the movie. This is a movie about Spirit Halloween. Listen, I think this could be a fun kids movie,
sure.
Honestly.
Christopher Lloyd is in this, right?
Yeah. It's got a fun cast. Like, this is not something I'm going to rush out to see.
I would see it.
But like,
I'm not going to
It feels like a Night at the Museum style horror movie. I'd
watch it.
Yeah. A fun kids movie. Good gateway horror, hopefully.
Yeah.
A big one here. Halloween Ends. That has Let's call it like it is. This has been dumped on Peacock as well. Yeah. I don't care. I've seen a lot of people saying it has not been. This has been dumped. Like this is
it has been.
They didn't do this with The Black Phone. They didn't do this with Nope. It's the same studio. They have dumped this on. I could end up loving this movie, but for whatever reason, they have decided that this is the best route financially. And you can look into that how it is.
I don't want to say too much because I know a little bit about this movie and the plot. I will say this: there are similarities to what's going on with this movie, as there are to other black sheep entries in major horror franchises, and I tend to kind of love the black sheep.
Yes. So
I probably will wind up really loving this.
And I think they've seen some of their reaction to what you're talking about, though, and have decided. And I think this is almost a panic move, or it did really, really well for them last time around.
And maybe they're just,
and it still made some money in theaters.
I think they're dumping it.
I do too.
I think they're ready to move on to whatever the next.
Because I think we're at a point now where we have enough. We have enough knowledge. We've seen it enough where. If you release a movie exclusively in theaters and it looks good and people want to go see it, like people will see it. Like Paramount ended up making the right call with Top Gun because that thing has been. And this is not Top Gun, I understand, but this is the same. Like I said, this is the same studio that released the Black Phone exclusively at theaters, and that did pretty well.
Yeah,
Scream did pretty well.
Yeah,
those were exclusive to theater.
Yeah, Scream
movies.
ain't coming to Peacock. Scream the next Scream movie.
It's not getting this. So I'm gonna see it, obviously. And believe me, I'm saying all this, and I'm happy they're dumping it. Now I don't have to leave. I we set this one up on the projector.
Dude, I don't have to go any. Dude, I love this shit. Yeah. Keep dump them.
We bitch.
Dude, Prey showed up and I was like, hell yeah! I don't have to leave or pay extra money. This is awesome.
Wait, which movie is that?
Prey.
Oh, was that?
When Prey popped up on Hulu, I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, Prey. Oh, sorry. What's the Idris movie that Beast?
Oh, Beast. No,
that's gonna be on Peacock.
I have to go to theaters to see.
Yeah,
Beast.
But look at that. They had confidence in Beast.
Hell yeah! Isn't that crazy?
Idris Elba
is
a win.
Power. Yeah.
VHS 99. This is gonna be on Shudder. This is a Shudder movie. I am VHS 94. If you do get a Shudder subscription, check that out because it's really cool.
I don't think I've ever seen any of the VHS movies.
Oh, really?
I saw one segment that you said you have to see.
Oh, the Gareth.
And you were right.
Yeah.
Because whoa. But I have not seen any other stuff.
Oh, I think they're all up there, so check them out.
Yeah.
They're all worth a watch. They're anthology movies, so your mileage may vary. But,
okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna see it, but you should check out the VHS movies.
All right. You can do that.
Slashback. I don't know. This is like, I don't know. I have that on there. Slayers. This has a great cast.
Hell yeah. Tom Jane. Let's go.
Tom Jane, Abigail Breslin, and Malin Ackerman. A seasoned vampire enlists social media influencers to help him take revenge against bloodsuckers that murdered his daughter. Fantastic.
Sweet.
See it. Dario Argento's Dark Glasses will be out. This is a new Dario Argento movie, so you know it's going to be good.
I mean, it's got to be, right?
Resurrection, that's going to be on Shudder. This is a Rebecca Hall movie that I've heard good things about.
Yeah.
This one I didn't know about, but I'm kind of excited for. Wendell and Wild.
Yeah.
This is cool. Nightmare Before Christmas and Coraline, director Henry Selick.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Netflix. It's a stop-motion movie with Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
I might have to show this to Josie.
Yeah, I think this is a good... This, along with the Spirit Halloween movie, might be kind of fun.
Yeah. She's been very interested in Killer Clowns from Outer Space. But I don't remember the movie. Like I don't remember how much language there is.
Yeah.
Because she's been very interested. Like, she saw the trailer on my phone for the game, and which I'm so excited for. And she goes, "What is this?" I'm like, "Oh boy, Killer Clowns." She goes, "Like the rug in the basement?" And I was like,
Next time I'll bring over my Killer Clowns popcorn thing that I got.
She likes that guy.
Yeah.
The little monster guy?
He's cool.
She goes, "I like the baby clown." That's what she calls the baby clown. No, she's never seen the movie, so I'm going to have to think about that one. I'm going to be able to do it. I don't know.
All right, we're going to hammer these out because we're running here. Whatever.
Yeah, it's all good.
October TV, Interview with the Vampire, the AMC show.
Down.
Yeah. Ghost Hunters are back for season 15 on the Travel Channel and Discovery Plus.
Awesome.
Jack Osbourne's Haunted Homecoming on Discovery Plus, which I believe has Jason Mewes and Jamie Kennedy guest starring. Jack is going to become a go-to ghost hunter. The Walking Dead season 11. I believe this is the final season. Will you be jumping back in for this?
No.
I do want to say this. I have been actually watching Tales of the Walking Dead, that anthology series that's been out on.
Okay.
It's a decent week-to-week watch for me. I have not watched Walking Dead since season 1.
Okay.
But this is kind of like one-shot side stories. And the first couple were... There's a Parker Posey time loop episode that I really liked.
I've heard it's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The last one, though, it seemed to be more tied into the series with Samantha Morton, The Whisperers, I believe they're called.
Okay.
It seems to be more tied into later seasons of the series. I didn't really understand what was going on. I'm sure it was good. Chucky season 2. Chucky was one of my favorite shows last year that I watched, and I'm very excited it's back. And I think they're bringing in Glenn Glenda for this one.
Oh, my goodness.
Reginald the Vampire, which is a sci-fi show which stars my boy Ned from the Spider-Man movies.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
He's fun.
There's apparently a Let the Right One In show on Showtime. The Midnight Club is going to be on Netflix.
New Mike Flanagan.
Oh, is that...
That's New Flanagan, yeah.
Okay. Ghost Brothers, Lights Out. Ghost Brothers.
You love the Ghost Brothers.
My favorite ghost hunting show. My wife and I's favorite ghost hunting show.
What is it on? Discovery Plus?
Discovery Plus.
You know what? I'm going to watch some Ghost Brothers tonight.
Please do. First time. And because then I would love to talk about the Ghost Brothers with you. And because I think you'll be hooked.
I'm going to have Nikki watch some Ghost Brothers with me, too.
Nikki will love the Ghost Brothers.
Okay. Tonight, we're watching some Ghost Brothers.
I would start... I think Lights Out is the most fun. So you're going to see a couple different ones. You're going to see Haunted House Guests and Lights Out on Discovery Plus.
Watch Lights Out.
I would go with Lights Out first.
Okay.
The Winchester Season 1, which is the prequel series to Supernatural, will be out. Joe Bob's Halloween 2022 special will be on Shudder TV. I think he does a marathon every Halloween. Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosity is going to be on Netflix. And then something called The Haunted Museum 3 Ring Inferno, which I believe is a Baggins production.
My goodness.
We will roll real quick through November because there is a couple I want to talk about with
Sure.
you. Something in the Dirt is the new Benson and Moorhead movie.
Oh, dude, anything Benson and Moorhead do.
Yes.
Dude, you know they're directing Loki season 2?
They
like
are
all of it?
perfect for that.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like it feels like whatever they do, whatever they were doing on Moon Knight was like they're like
a demo reel. Yeah.
Yeah. Super pumped.
Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead's latest sees them starring as neighbors who witness supernatural events in their apartment building. Deciding to document it for fame sends them down a rabbit hole. That's all.
I'll watch any of their stuff. I don't care.
The Menu, which looked like a horror comedy with like Ray Fiennes. I saw the trailer for that. It looked kind of fun.
I like Rafe.
Bones and All is a Luca. Okay. I always butcher his last name. It's embarrassing.
Guadagnino.
Guadagnino?
Yeah, I don't know.
Suspiria. That's what he did. It's got Timothée Chalamet. It's a cannibal love story.
I love me some Chalamet.
It's a cannibal love story, and he worked with.
Oh no!
Oh
no! That's pretty funny.
And there's a movie called The Nanny coming out straight to Prime Video.
Okay.
It's a Senegalese movie, but it won Sundance as top prize. They just dropped a trailer today. I did not get a chance to watch it, but
all right.
There you go. And then there was no TV, so there we go.
Sweet.
That's our fall preview.
We've been talking a lot.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about FEAR.com's anniversary.
Oh, I'm not cutting this short. I was trying to burn through that so we can get to.
Okay.
Guess what? We're bringing back the Time Machine.
Yep. That's my internet powering up sound. Remember those sounds?
Oh, I used to. Yeah,
Dude.
I used to jump on the internet late at night at my parents' house.
You'd wake them up,
and I would go, "Oh my God, stop!
Fucking stop!" What was that sound?
It was the modem doing something.
Yeah,
I'm sure Alex probably know.
Weird. Yeah, FEAR.com.
It was the same everywhere too.
It was.
You go to the library, get on there.
Didn't matter.
Yeah. You ever go to the library for internet? I go.
At some point, I had. I'm sure.
I remember.
Now
I went to the library for internet when I was a kid all the time, and I would watch the Spider-Man trailer and play Jeopardy.
Sick. Great use of the.
The Jeopardy website was just like questions that you could.
That's
answer.
fantastic. We are recording this on the 20th anniversary of
FEAR.com.
FEAR.com. William Malone's FEAR.com.
Big Bill Malone from Lansing.
Yeah, that's right.
I did a little bit of research on Bill. He did House of Haunted Hill.
House of Haunted Hill, and did an episode of Masters of Horror. Interestingly,
and then he dropped out. He works for Trick or Treat Studios, the mask making company.
He does.
He's a sculptor for them.
Wow.
Yeah, he does. Is
he at cons doing that?
I don't know.
Because Trick or Treat's usually at all the cons.
I was on their website and there was a picture.
Have I seen William Malone at a con and not realized it?
Maybe.
Shit.
I would assume either he does the sculpting or he has a team that does the sculpting for them. But yeah, he was on their website today. So because I was wondering what happened to him, because I mean this was not a well received movie.
No.
Why are we celebrating the 20th anniversary of FEAR.com?
Well, I mean, does he listen still?
Who's that? Bill Malone? Oh no.
The one who. The man
Danny,
who has been begging us for years.
He will pop in every once in a while.
You better pop in for this one.
Better pop in for this one. I will send him a direct link so that he listens, and I will make sure to start it here.
There's a gentleman, a friend of ours, friend of the show, who has asked us to talk about FEAR.com since we started this show, which was how long ago now?
5 or 6 years. We're going on 6 years now.
Yeah. So, so we're finally talking about FEAR.com.
I've been waiting for this moment.
I know you have.
I've been waiting.
You purchased a FEAR.com trailer,
35 millimeter trailer,
on 35 mil, because we've always joked about FEAR.com and had a good time with the movie.
I think it was even an inside joke on the podcast early on, and then we dropped it because we kind of forgot.
We did, yes, we did.
I have one more thing marked out, so what happened was I was on a walk up to the coffee. I was going to get coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it popped in my head. I was thinking of stuff we could do to get the time machine back, to kind of come back to our roots, like make sure we continue on.
Yes, of course.
As we switch up the format a little bit.
Of course.
Make sure and I'm like, anniversaries.
Something always has an anniversary, right?
Yep.
There's always, every day as an anniversary for some movie, so yeah.
And I'm walking up there, and I go, it's August. And I go, it's August 2022. And I'm thinking in my head, like, what would have come out in August 2002 or like 1997? 2002, I'm like, oh my God, I think FEAR.com came out in 2002. And I Google searched it, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's incredible.
It came out it's
incredible.
This week.
You and I both watched FEAR.com today.
And I tell you that, like,
we will not be giving a full review. I'll just state that.
Because you're like, are we going to watch it? We have to watch this, right? I'm like, we should at least watch the trailer. And then we both watched it, like
the movie.
Complete sickos.
Well, it was you first, in fairness. Like, if I get dared to do something within reason, I will probably do it.
What? I can't believe this was within reason.
It is. Well, because, like, look, full disclosure, I watched FEAR.com on my phone.
Okay.
As was intended, I'm sure.
It was meant to be seen, yeah.
I watched FEAR.com on my phone. And this is a movie that's very dark, very darkly lit. So it's hard as fuck to see on my phone. And I had the brightness all the way up. And I watched it on my phone in probably over the course of 6 hours today.
I didn't realize when you had texted me that you were breaking it up into chunks, so I knocked it out in like a hour and a half, with commercials probably a couple hours. If I'm watching a movie and I'm at home with the kiddo, it's going to be broken up into chunks on my phone for sure,
because I can't watch this stuff with her in the room.
She does not need to see
no.
FEAR.com
for many reasons, and I can't, and I'm going to get pulled away from my phone,
right,
to do different things through it. So yes, it was like a 4 to 6 hour journey of FEAR.com for me, but I did finish it.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. It's not good.
You did this, but there was no pressure on me. I just wanted everybody to know. I gave Willie no pressure.
No, but it was a dare in its own way. For me, it was a dare. It was you. All of a sudden, you're like, "Well, I'm watching FEAR.com right now."
I woke up this morning
and I go, "God damn it, Tim!" Because now I'm going to do it.
I made the coffee. I woke up this morning, and I work from home, and I had something at work I could do while I had fear. Like, I was working at the time, but it was something that didn't need my full attention.
Yeah.
So the old FEAR.com went on the old laptop.
Yeah.
On the old computer.
It happens.
And I got sucked in at times, I'm not going to lie.
It happens. I didn't.
This is one of the movies where halfway through, I'm kind of into this, and it's always one of those movies where I'm like, I realize, like, I just have shitty taste.
That rules.
Such bad
that
taste.
rules. What a realization.
I'm sitting there going, like, I do not think this is a good movie, but I'm kind of into this.
What a beautiful moment of self-reflection that FEAR.com gave you. And really, if nothing else, shouldn't cinema allow us to reflect on ourselves and our world?
Yes.
No, this movie sucks. So bad. It's. I mean, look, like, there are some fun moments when the bit where Stephen Dorff, who I already think is fucking hilarious and everything.
Dorff's one of our funniest actors.
He's one of the. I'm thinking about him and I'm laughing. He's very funny. But Dorff, looking up the website that kills you in 48 hours for reasons I still don't fully understand. And he types in he doesn't type in fear.com, not the word fear with a period and then a COM.
Which is how I always took it, yeah.
Right. The movie is called fear.com, all spelled out. So fear, DOTCOM. That's fine. For like movie purposes, okay, cool. They went cute with it. That's fine. He types in fear.com spelled out .com.
It's honestly one of the funniest moments in any movie.
It's so it made that was worth watching the movie. And he does it a second time. It's like the climactic moment in the film where he's finally going to defeat the evil genitorturer Stephen Ray, and he types in on his web browser FEARDOTCOM, and then a ghost shows up. It's really funny. But otherwise...
The ghost girl.
The ghost girl, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's not very good. I mean, that's about it.
I want to make sure I'm getting something right with the ghost girl.
I'm going to try.
So she's a hemophiliac, which is why she plays with the round ball, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, you did. Oh, you must have missed this. Somebody explains. I do not remember the character. She's a hemophiliac.
There's a hemophiliac in this movie?
The ghost girl. The ghost girl was a hemophiliac when she was alive. I don't think I'm imagining this, and that's why she plays with the round ball, because it can't like make her bleed. Like they say even if she got like a finger prick, she would die. But then they say, I swear to God, they say this. She plays with the round ball.
Remember, 6 hours on my phone. Well working.
But this part blew my mind because it's in the same scene. She plays with the round ball because she's afraid of getting hurt. But then they bring up this old steel mill, and then they go, she used to play there all the time. The hemophilia girl who was so afraid used to play in an old steel mill. I could not believe it. Am I getting this wrong? I need someone to verify. Anybody who has recently seen... I am asking anybody to watch FEAR.com
Tim,
right now.
I must have missed this. Was it brief that they discussed the hemophilia thing?
Yes, it was brief, and I thought you would notice it.
Well, I didn't. All I understood was that the ghost girl was the reason why if you hopped onto the FEAR.com website that you were killed, because she wanted to get revenge on those who are watching Stephen Ray's creepy. I
will say this as a positive. I think those scenes, some of those scenes of him being all creepy with like the woman.
Yes,
I think some of those are effective.
Yes,
I think there are. That's the stuff that I think is actually kind of effective in the movie. Is those scenes where he's kind of, and I mean, in fact, like I don't enjoy watching. I don't think they're good, but they're creepy and they're gross.
Yeah,
I think they work as intended. Yeah. There were movies that came out like this 8mm. Remember that one? Like there was
oh boy, yeah.
There were
some
like
of these snuffy movies got weird.
It was kind of a snuffy couple of years there.
Okay, so yeah.
Sorry, still, are you reading?
Yeah.
Yeah, his live streams, I should say, is what they would be called.
Yeah. When did he kill this girl? Do we know?
Oh, I don't know. This is now you're...
Like, was this like... I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Hemophiliacs do not have to play with ball, with shot. Spoiler alert,
but
I have severe hemophilia.
Yeah.
It's not super common.
Yeah.
I can say I'm kind of an expert on the subject.
Now, if you were so worried though about like if you,
why would you play in a fucking steel mill? You wouldn't. I'm you know what though? I like Fear.com now. I love hilariously unrealistic depictions of hemophilia.
Yeah.
It's great. I also love that I looked it up to find out that it was true. The ghost girl was hemophiliac. And I saw weird internet comments about how could she be alive after 2 days if she had hemophilia?
Wait, what?
Like, if she was getting tortured for 2 days, wouldn't she be dead? Because she's got hemophilia? God.
I mean, I guess it depends on the type of torture.
What are we doing to her, right? Ask Stephen Ray. Wow, that's funny. How did I miss that?
Someone in this movie gets killed while Rammstein is playing, though, too.
That's perfect. That's about right. God, how did I miss that?
Jeffrey Combs is in this movie.
Jeffrey Combs, yep. Frequent collaborator with William Malone. I think he's in most of his projects. Yeah. I'm hung up on this now, though, Tim.
You can't get...
No, I don't want to talk about anything else.
I thought for sure you would.
That's amazing.
I'm going through my notes here.
Hemophilia is incredibly rare in females, too.
Yeah.
Very rare. Both parents have to have the gene for that to even, take place.
So her parents had that, yeah.
Well, it's a little different now because, we don't need to get into hemophilia, whatever.
No, it's okay. It's more interesting than this movie.
Well, so, my daughter technically has hemophilia.
Right.
She's got moderate.
Right.
Or mild. Mild, I think. It's not like hot sauce from Taco Bell. It's different range.
Yes. She does not have fire hemophilia.
Correct. I do. She does not.
What was Diablo?
Oh God, yeah. Then you'd just be.
Oh, that's the little girl in this movie.
Yeah, right. She's playing with little.
The boy in the bubble.
Yes.
Wait, did the boy in the bubble? Was that what? Or was that just like?
I think he was like allergic to everything, right?
That's what. Okay.
Wasn't that it?
What about Bubble Boy?
I don't know. Wasn't the twist that there was nothing wrong, Bubble Boy?
Probably.
I think so. Stupid fucking movie.
A Jake Gyllenhaal classic.
Hell yeah.
Stacy Keibler.
Marley Shelton. Great stuff. Yeah. Anyway,
Marley
that's
Shelton.
Funny.
She's a deaf actress.
No, you're thinking of Marley Matlin.
Marley
Shelton is Judy from Scream. Judy. That's the best delivery in that movie. Judy. So I'll say this. I have a new respect for FEAR.com, not because it portrays hemophilia in anything close to resembling any sort of realistic light. I do need an answer, though, on what year this girl was killed. That would maybe identify some of the treatments available to her that would make her have more of a closer to a normal life. Anyway, but I will say I'm pretty psyched that we have a horror movie villain that is a hemophiliac.
Yeah, right.
I didn't realize that.
Is that it? Is this her? Like, is she the only one?
I'm not aware of any other ones. There's not a lot of that in movies, right? There's a hemophiliac joke in Simpsons that's really good.
What's the joke?
Early Simpsons, like earlier Simpsons.
Like good Simpsons, yeah.
Yes. Where Homer teaches Bart that if he gets involved in a fight, he just stop, I'm a hemophiliac, like to get him to if it's a bigger kid. Yeah. That's a good one. There's also a really good hemophilia joke in Family Guy, which I'm not normally a huge fan of.
Okay.
But like there's this bit where like there's this guy talking about like his room of treasures and he's like, my priceless Fabergé egg, my handwritten letter from Abraham Lincoln, my newborn hemophiliac son. And then the room gets like smashed. It's really funny.
Joke. Yeah.
So, I tweeted the showrunner that. I was pissed.
What's this now?
There was this show with Ryan Felipe, and it was on network TV, and it lasted for like a season, and he plays a cop or a detective.
Okay.
It was like a murder mystery thing, trying to like capitalize off of the popularity of like True Detective and things like that were going on at the time. And I'll find out what the name of it was, but it might even be based on a book. I can't remember. But it really legitimately kind of pissed me off. I don't get
worked up, angry,
because I don't give a shit. Secrets and Lies.
Okay.
Was the name of the show.
Okay.
And the part of the plot was that like, and I might be misremembering this a little bit, like part of the plot was like one of the kids on the show was hemophiliac, and they explain he's a hemophiliac because his parents are brother and sister and boned each other, and it's a product of incest.
So they're basically saying that is the reason.
If you have hemophilia, it's because your parents are like you're a product of incest.
Okay.
Which is insane and so irresponsible.
That is stupid.
And I remember like I like wrote like a couple tweets to the showrunner like, do you understand like how much shit that community has gotten, like, and like how shunned that community is already, and now you're going to throw this out there? Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Really responsive. Anyway, okay, I'm done.
No, that's fair.
Super cool. Good. We got a killer in a horror movie that is a hemophiliac. Excellent.
So there's I have a couple notes here that I wanted to go over. There's a very funny moment of ADR in this movie where you could tell they forgot, like, they do not have confidence in the audience to understand the terrific, well laid out story they're telling. So Stephen Dorff, during a transition, they show like the outside of a building.
Yes.
And he goes, "We need to find a common link on these computers." And you can tell it feels like he literally phoned it in.
Perfect.
I thought there was another thing I wanted to mention here too. This is the only movie. Okay, so a couple of fun facts as we're celebrating the anniversary.
Yep.
This is okay. So this is a 3% score on Rotten Tomatoes. And the first thing I thought when I looked at that is like, oh, well, I mean, it was 2002. Like, they probably don't have a ton of reviews. Or they have 100 reviews. There are only like 4 positive reviews. And I read the blurbs for the positive reviews, and it's all people like saying like, this movie's not very good. But I guess, I mean, I was kind of creeped out in moments. I'll give it a positive score.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
The other
Why
thing
not?
This is one of 21 movies to have an F.
Okay.
And so
it's.
I think some of the other ones, like Mother, the Aronofsky movie, got an F. Bug, remember Bug, the Friedkin movie?
Fucking terrible movie. Awful. That's worse than this, no question.
The Wicker Man, the Nick Cage movie, got an F. Oh wait, I'm sorry. F. I should explain what I'm talking about. F Cinema Score. This is when they ask audiences what you like as they come out of the movie. What grade you? I've never been asked this. I would love to be. Have you ever been asked?
Yeah. What is the cinema like? How does this?
So a cinema.
I get it, but this actually happens.
Yeah, so a Cinema Score is when they ask audience as they come out of the movie, like, what grade would you give it? A, B, C, D. Okay. And honestly, like most of the time, like a B plus is considered a kind of a middling. You don't want a B plus. So they're like, this is an F. Like these movies, people came out of the audience members came out.
That's rough.
And they're like, I give this an F. I hated this movie. So like Mother, the Aronofsky movie, that makes sense too because it's such a
that's
insane.
That movie is
yeah. But The Wicker Man with Nicolas Cage got an F.
It's a bad movie.
Alone in the Dark, Uwe Boll. I believe Uwe's got another one out here, but Wolf Creek, which is a movie like the Australian.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. That is not a crowd pleaser.
That's a fair point. In the Cut, the Ruffalo and Meg Ryan movie.
Oh, that's a bad movie too.
Yeah, that's very similar to like 8mm, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it's kind of
skeevy.
It's very. It's like sexy skeevy though a little bit.
Solaris.
That's not good.
Clooney. Yeah, that's just boring. Dr. T and the Women. The Richard Gere movie.
Man, is
the
that
gynecologist.
Is it that bad? I don't know.
I think his wife is admitted. Okay. So I'm going to read this blurb from the website I have pulled up, and I can see why this may. Richard Gere plays Texas gynecologist Dr. T, who cares for the wealthiest women in Texas, but his life turns upside down when his wife is admitted into a mental institution. Dr. T finds comfort only with his golf instructor, Bree. I guess I didn't know the plot of Dr. T.
Okay.
Lost Souls.
Doesn't sound good. Lost Souls.
That's a Winona Ryder movie.
Oh, it's not good.
Yeah, she's like the Antichrist or something.
Yeah, it's bad. Her daughter is?
Lucky Numbers, the John Travolta, Tim Roth
Never
movie.
saw that.
No, me neither. Apparently it's awful. Eye of the Beholder with Ewan.
Never saw that either.
Which was another skeevy movie. So there you go. Those are the other...
we should review all these.
Just celebrate the anniversary of all these.
We should have We should do a new podcast just to talk about the F movies. I love it.
What was the quote I wrote down? And then we can get out of here. The secret soul of the internet is what they call it. I don't know. There you go. That's the end of. Well, before we get out of there, is there anything you've been watching that you want to talk about real quick? Okay.
I mentioned All of Us Are Dead.
That's it.
That's about it.
I talked about Tales from Walking Dead. I finished the Resident Evil show. Are you going to watch that or no? Okay. I
considered it after that weird initial buzz for like the first couple episodes died down.
And then they canceled it.
And people went, "This is actually not very good," and then it got canceled. So.
I think a friend of the show and has been on the show, John Street. I think you mentioned like
you watched the whole thing.
He watched the whole thing as well. I thought he said maybe I don't want to speak for him, but he said it gets a little bit better around episode 4. Oh, okay.
Or was it 4?
So there's I
can't remember what he said.
Something happens in 4, and I agree with him. It gets more interesting, but it's just I am of the belief that it is not good pretty much the entire time.
Is the alligator sweet?
Yeah. Oh, it's cool looking. Yeah. There was some money put behind it, which is probably why it got canceled.
Yeah.
So
I heard the Westerplicity is pretty funny.
I liked that episode, actually. Well, the thing is, it's not an entire episode. It's just like 10 minutes, but he's really good in the show.
Yeah. He's good in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is a bright spot in the show. And it's not like... It's not the worst show I've ever watched, but it's also one of those things where I just kind of finished it out.
You're not crying any tears over its cancellation.
Right. And I feel bad for anybody that is. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's always a bummer when a show you like gets canceled because you do. That's one of the tough things about TV shows and why.
I think they could crack the code on Resident Evil. I just don't know how they haven't done it yet.
It's weird, right?
I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah.
I feel like you could do it with a relatively reasonable budget too. So I don't get it. They'll figure it out one day, maybe or not.
You think it's time to give up on Resident Evil?
No, not necessarily. I don't know what you do at this point.
Yeah.
I think at this point you just make Resident Evil 7 the movie. The creepy Baker Mansion with the hillbilly family and stuff.
Yeah, you know what? What? The game's kind of reached a point too with 6, right? Where
they had to cycle back.
They're like, we've got to do something different here. Maybe 6 is
go smaller,
or 7
in
is
scope.
a nice jumping.
That might be the best bet.
Yeah,
and then you could do Village if you wanted to.
For sure.
If the
did I tell you I finished Village?
Yeah,
I did finish Village. Yeah.
What'd you think? I think you were okay.
I liked it. I liked it, but
7's better.
I think I'm with you. I like 7 better. Yeah. So my rankings are still 4 then 7. Yeah. I think, and then no. Sorry, I should say 4, 2, and probably 1.
4, 2 remake.
Yeah.
The 2 remake. Yeah.
And then 7's right up there. So those are the ones I love. And then 8 is after, or Village is after 7, and then 5 and 6 are down for me.
Yeah.
Oh, 3's whatever.
You excited for the 4 remake?
Yes, because I think. Oh, that was something we didn't touch about. There are a couple of games coming out in the fall.
Yeah.
Last of Us remake. Are you excited for that?
No.
Okay, you didn't like The Last of Us?
No, I love it. It doesn't need a remake.
Okay.
It still works. I don't understand why we're doing that.
And then Midnight Suns, is that still coming out, or did that get pushed back into next year?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not excited for that either.
You're not excited for that?
No.
Okay.
No. It should be a Midnight Suns game. Why the fuck is... I'm going to do it again. I got all fired up. So started talking about that Ryan Felipe show. No, why is it it's not a Midnight Suns game?
Because it has like Wolverine and stuff in it?
Why? I could accept Wolverine. Why is Iron Man in a Midnight Suns game?
Why
is Captain Marvel? Why is Captain America in a Midnight Suns game? These characters. Why is Spider-Man in this game? None of these, and I know why they're in the game. I know the answer to the question. Okay, because they sell things, or they're perceived to sell things. But that's not that. That's the Avengers. Right. So what are we doing? Don't get it.
Are we getting that Werewolf by Night show? Okay.
It'll be announced at Disney.
D23. Is that coming up soon?
Yes.
It's got to be. Is that this weekend or next weekend? Probably next. They wouldn't do it Labor Day weekend, right?
No, it'll be the following, I think. Yes, we are getting the Werewolf by Night thing. Michael Giacchino directed.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, it's his directorial debut.
Holy shit, are you serious? Yeah. Fantastic.
How sweet is that?
We are doing that.
He's scoring too.
We are talking about that on this.
100%. No, that'll be we're going to cover that. Apparently it's pretty fucking sweet too.
Yeah.
It's not just like Werewolf by Night, it's like Man Thing. It's like a bringing them all.
This is good news.
I'm excited.
I have been a little bit I've been watching She-Hulk.
I haven't watched it yet.
I'm kind of like, I want to like it more.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
It's just not.
I don't know. It hasn't hit for me, and I don't think it's good. I like it. I would like. This is one where I would like to see a traditional style, like Case of the Week with like a lower tier Marvel character. Yeah, it makes sense.
And that's not what we're getting. What we're getting is a super long She-Hulk movie, and it's fine. It's not bad. It's just I'm not into it.
I will check it out soon, probably. But yeah, I'm not like.
There's something else I want to
tell me when Daredevil shows back up.
Well, Hulk has shown up.
Yeah.
The Incredible.
I don't like that guy.
Hulk.
I don't like Smart Hulk too much.
Yeah, he's lame, right?
He's boring. Fucking watch that.
It's just
Mark Ruffalo.
Just show Ruffalo. Yeah, it is just Ruffalo. Just get him without the makeup. But he probably doesn't want to do it because he'd have to be on set, so he could just voice.
Yeah, it's just sweet for him.
He could just voice.
Awesome. No, he was fun and he was a welcome addition. And when he first showed up, I'm like, oh, that's fun. Like he's finally got it figured out. That's kind of a cool character. Okay, he finally kind of. But the character arc happens off screen. The resolution of that happens off screen.
Right.
So yeah, you get the immediate like, haha, it's funny because it's Hulk, but he's smart. But now he's just like, I don't want to see him anymore. Like, give me Angry Hulk again, please. Anyway, Werewolf by Night's gonna be sweet. So
the last show I want to talk about here is the show called Primal. Real quick, I don't know if I've talked about in this before.
So.
Gendy Tartakovsky, who did the early Clone Wars, but he's probably best known for Samurai Jack. Is what he's best known for.
I know the show. Yeah, the caveman, the cool
caveman
dude. Yeah.
like kind of like the guy in his dinosaur.
Yeah, he's like a Conan looking dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Season 2 is finishing up right now. It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
He did some work on
sweet.
Batman animated series. Batman Animated Series. I want to bring this up too because I have backup now from Chris Evans, who tweeted out how much he loves this show.
Primal.
And I was like, hell yeah, brother. Welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard, Chris.
It's sweet, huh?
Primal is like the most bitchin' show ever. It's like the first season.
Is it only on Max though?
Max, if you have cable Cartoon Network, but yeah, Max is what it's on. I'm sure you could find it. So
all right.
If you have a cable login from somebody, you can download the Cartoon Network app.
I might be able to make that happen.
Yeah. And I believe it's on there because that's how I watch it. Is through YouTube TV. But because like the first season is mostly it's like kind of like a silent film, or like a silent. It's mostly silent. The second season there is a little bit more dialogue in it, but it's just nuts. It's it rocks. It's like hyper violent and just cool as hell. And
everything I've seen from it, I'm like, this looks so sweet.
It is. I've been on an animated kick lately. I like a lot. There's a lot of animated shows out there that I really dig. So cool. All right, we can get out of here now. But I wanted to mention Primal before we go.
Excellent.
Thank you everybody for listening. Take care out there. We'll see you next time. Bye now.